Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Physio Practice Success Show. My name is Chaz Arashi and I'm an ex-physio, multiple practice owner and the founder of physiomarketing.co. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today in the episode? It's a big topic. It's called Why Most Physios Struggle to Fully Book Their Diary. Big topic. Let's carry on. Now, couple of disclaimers first before I dive right into this very important topic. Okay, so what I'm just about to mention in the next few minutes, there's a good chance that it's going to challenge your beliefs and what you think and how you feel. So you might get some, different feelings and thoughts and things like that, but just stay with me because I'm just going to mention a few things that, it took me a long time to learn. When I owned my practices and when I ran my practices. So what I really want to do for you during this little session and in the next few minutes is to make sure that I get this across to you as fast as I can, right? And for that to happen, I've got to say things in a little bit of a different way. And what I want for you out of this whole experience is have an open mind. So be ready to learn, be open to learn, because what I really want for you is take at least one thing in the next few minutes and maybe it'll give you an aha moment. I'm not sure. Hopefully it does because there's a few things in here that you probably haven't heard before. When you have heard it, take it away. Even if it's a really small thing, plug it into your practice and start from there. So I just want to let you know, like I said, what I'm just about to tell you is going to be a bit different. So hang in there with me because at the end of the day, the whole aim of what I'm just about to say is to create happier patients coming out of your clinic and more profits for you as a practice owner as well. Okay? Are we ready to rock and roll? Let's go for it. Right. So what's the number one reason why most physios struggle to fully book their diary? Reason number one is physios are not salesmen. Right? Now, this is not a secret. Okay? So you as the practice owner, there's probably a good chance that you're a good salesman or you're a reasonable salesman. You're good with people. You can sort of get people. You know how to sell things. It's probably fair to say. Myself included, when I owned my practices, I found that I had a natural talent towards it, at least a little bit. I had to learn a lot more, of course. But what I find, even with the clients that we have, the practice owners tend to be a bit more sales oriented. And it's totally okay if you're not either. Because what I'm about to mention in the next few minutes is going to get you to think a little bit differently and see things differently. Okay? So now the practice owner may be a salesman, at least a little bit of a salesman, but what we'll find, and again, when I hired physios and when our clients have their physios, when they hire extra physios, or whoever practitioner, it could be, exercise physiologists or even chiros, massage therapists, all that kind of thing, is generally speaking, they don't tend to be salespeople, all right? Now, I know this is going to be a bit of a tricky subject to talk about. Well, of course not, because, they're physios or they're chiros or they're exercise phys. They're not supposed to be salespeople. They're supposed to get people better or get people moving better and all that kind of thing. Totally get it. But as a part of it, you probably understand that, these guys, your staff, the physios, etc., that are in your practice, they are generating revenue for you. So for them to do that, if there's any success, they need to have at least some little skills in being able to sell. All right? And it's none of their fault because, when they did the degree, they learned how to do their craft really well. They probably didn't go through the sales techniques that they should have. To make sure that they can actually make a living out of what they paid thousands of dollars for. I know that when I was in UQ, right, all those years ago, University of Queensland in Brisbane, Queensland in Australia, right, it's a top 10 physio school in the world, and it still is, I think, right? And even then, in the 4-year degree, I had like one 1-hour lecture on being a physio practice owner, right? And it's just not enough to get you out of the real world and, try and make an actual living out of what you spend thousands of dollars for. So it's totally understandable that your staff don't have that innate natural ability to sell. So your role as a business owner and a leader is seeing the gap, a very, very big gap, very important gap, and put things in place to train them. So what we did, including our clients, is part of their in-services, part of it is actually how to sell, right? Having sales scripts. And I know that might be a little bit weird when you say sales scripts for physios. Well, if you're not trained in how to sell, I think it's very important that they know how to do that. It's very, very important. All right. So, and this is what we do with our clients as well. We have whole sales scripts written for physios to get them started at least, so they don't have to use it word for word or they don't have to read it out, but they get an idea of what needs to be said to make sure that, their role, not only just as a practitioner and a therapist, but their role is also to generate revenue for you. All right. Now, obviously, you want to do that whilst making sure that you look after the patients as well. You just don't want to, generate revenue for the sake of generating revenue, because you're going to end up with a whole lot of unhappy new patients or patients. So this is all considered. So part of your role is to make sure that you get a healthy balance between, making your practice profitable as well as making sure that you look after your new patients. A good, healthy balance. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is the physios not taking charge. The physios or the practitioners not taking charge. This is one of the other big reasons why most physios struggle to fully book their diary. All right. Now, what I really mean by this is, think about it for a second. So somebody's called you up and booked an appointment with you, or just done it through online. Either way, they come to you, they're in front of you or in front of your staff, right? They've come to you for help. They have something that they need fixed, right? And they have made the decision to come, and they have made the decision to that you are the person, or your staff is the person to solve that problem, right? That's why they've come to you, right? And in their eyes, they really see you or your staff as the expert. And a common mistake that we see, even with my staff when I hired them as well, the physios, including our clients, is they don't really, at least in some level, they don't believe they are truly the expert, okay? They may be like, oh yeah, they're here, that's great, all that kind of thing, so I need to try and get them better, that's my role, right? It's very important that you ingrain in your staff that, listen, they've come to you, they've booked an appointment with you, they are the expert, okay? The new patient is relying on them to get them better, all right? So the key part of this is taking charge, be the expert early, all right, and get your new patients, create a lot of momentum with them really early. It's very, very important, right? Because what happens is when you create momentum really early, like how many times have you had a new patient or any patient, right? They go through the exercises, or you give them exercises. When they come back next time, they go, did you do the exercises? No. How many times have you heard that? Plenty of times, all right? And the principle of this is, I really believe it's a part of the leverage you created for them. Now, what I mean by that is, there's that saying, right? You don't really truly value something unless you start paying for it, right? This is the same way. So if you create early momentum and you give them enough leverage, all right, and they pay enough for it, they're going to take you very, very seriously. And all of a sudden, you're going to find new patients coming in or patients coming in, they are sticking to their exercises. They've done them. When they come in, when you reassess them, they're stronger. They've got range of motion, right? You're going to see these things. So what I'm trying to say is, when you take charge and create early momentum, not only is it good for your back pocket as a practice owner, but also for the new patient as well, because they're getting runs on the board very early on. It's really great for them. All right, so they're gonna be happier long term, and they're gonna refer their friends over to you. All of a sudden, you have a really, really great business, more than you already have. Okay, that's reason number two. Now, reason number three of why most physios struggle to fully book their diary is there's no structure for a new patient. All right. Now, again, when I started, this is exactly what I did, because I wasn't trained in this sense. All right, I'm just like, okay, there's an ankle injury, there's an ATFL going on, great, no problem. So we need to get them better. All right, let's just see how we go. And essentially what you're doing is, because there's no structure, you're winging it. I know I was winging it. All right, and a lot of our clients, when they come on board, their staff are, at least to a certain degree, winging it. All right, and if you do things like that, what happens, unfortunately, is that your patient will lose confidence in you, because they don't firstly see the certainty within you to get them better. They're going to see, okay, cool, we're just going to see how we go, blah, 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 all that kind of thing. And they're going to lose confidence. And unfortunately, as a result of that, right, if they lose confidence, the chances of the patient having a bad experience will increase, obviously, right? That's a given. So you really want to make sure that you minimize that. It's a big, big thing to do. All right. So having a structure very early on when a new patient comes in, this is what we do with our clients as well. We give them a very clear structure that we've tested and tried, including in my practices and the practice that I work that's been incredibly successful. We give them a structure to follow right from the start. Okay. So we give this to our clients, and you need to make sure that you have this in your system as well, right? Because if you do that, you're going to have a fully booked diary very, very quickly, faster than you ever had before, more than likely. And on top of that, you're going to have happier patients, who are totally confident that, listen, the physios that I go to at XYZ, they know exactly what they're doing. They got me on this plan. I'm getting better every single day. I'm so happy. You should go there, right? It'll start doing work by itself, which is amazing. That's what you really want, okay? Because if you don't do that, what'll happen, like I said, is, patients will lose confidence, and they're going to have a, worse off experience, and they're not going to really come and see. They're probably going to look around and see what other physios are around. You really obviously don't want that, okay? Because if you do that, you're probably going to be hustling for more new patients just to make up for what didn't happen. So you really don't want to do that. So those are the three biggest reasons. I hope that really, really helped. All right. Now, if you really like that, if you want to get a little bit more info on this, I want to encourage you to go to physiomarketing.co. Over there, there's some great resources, there's some great videos, there's some cheat sheets, checklists, all that kind of thing to get your physio practice humming along, to have happier patients and better and more profitable practice for yourself as well. Or if you want to have a bit of a chat with us, just feel free to call us on our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-267-877, and we'll be more than happy to help you out with any sort of questions that you have. Okay. And if you want to know more about us, if you want to email us, you can also do that on info@physiomarketing.co. Again, we'll be really happy to help you out. No problems there. Now, one thing I want to mention to you before we close off this session is, if you have a burning question, much like what we covered today, that you want to know more about when it comes to sales and marketing, shoot us an email at info@physiomarketing.co. We'd love to do something like this just for you. It'll be incredible. So thank you very much. Until next time, take care.